Welcome. My name is Tracy Cook, and this is the podcast series Victim to Victory. This series gives a voice to those that have overcome challenges in all forms that dare greatly to share their real stories. Amazing humans that have seen hope and risen above those adversities to become victorious, that go on to support and inspire others to do the same. And today we are giving a voice to Kerri Elrod, and we are speaking to her from Perth to the US. And I would like to give you a little backstory before we welcome her completely into the Victim to Victory series. We met in 2019 on the Play to Win reality show with Ray and Jessica Higdon, and she was a fellow competitor, contestant, and now a very close friend. All the way from the US today. She is inspiring. She is really heartfelt. She is a great piano player. She is a wife. She is a mum, and she is extraordinary. Her name is Kerri Elrod, and welcome today to Victim to Victory.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me. I'm so blessed to be here and so honored to be able to share all the way from the US.
It's great how we can connect online.
Yeah.
So tell our audience, Kerri, who is Kerri and where does your story kind of start?
So, like you said, I am a wife, a mother of one daughter, and I'm a professional piano player. I was also a music school teacher for 17 years in the public school system. And my story starts when I was really young. I actually have lived a life of feeling insignificant pretty much all of my life. And I spent many of my younger years in turmoil with myself and not having self-worth and being put down by my dad. And all I ever wanted was love and attention from my family and my father especially. And so when I was in my teens, I attempted suicide twice. The first one was not so intense, but the second one was. And I was minutes away from having severe complications the rest of my life. But it wasn't enough, unfortunately. I didn't want to die. I wanted to have someone love me. I wanted to have someone pay attention to me. And I spent years after that, up through my 20s, just making the wrong choices with men and seeking attention anywhere I could get it. And negative, positive, it just didn't matter. And in the midst of all that, I became addicted to drugs. And I spent many years on drugs and living a life of that, and combined with alcohol and partying and all the things that you could think of, and making just really bad choices for my life. And up until I was probably 29. So I just turned 50. So that, when I look back on it, that was 20 years ago, and it seems so long ago, yet it seems so vivid and so right there, and but what I've learned that's what shifted me has really only been in the last couple of years. And so many people say, I can't do that, I'm too old, or it's too late for me to change or do that. And it's just not true. There's so much life to live. And if people would just take that opportunity and seize it, and there's a lot of forgiveness that needs to happen. There's a lot of release. There's a lot of letting the past go. There's a lot of being open to accepting new things and taking risks and chances that are positive rather than negative. And yeah, life's really a gift, and I'm so thankful I see that now, whereas I never appreciated it when I was young because I was so self-focused, you know.
And something that's just resonated with me then, Kerri, is something traumatic can happen to you. And like you said, it happened 20 years ago, yet it feels so current because those upper limit beliefs or those injuries or those wounds, they never truly heal. But I think in a lot of cases, they get you to take the next step in your journey. So you actually accept the situation, but what you learn from the situation, the lesson that you take, that will propel you to the next level. Is that kind of something like you've been through?
Yeah, a lot of what I've experienced within, I'm going to say, the last 10 years has been really a spiritual shift. And I grew up in a religious household. I'm not going to say very strict one, but you know, we went to church and did those things. But I, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember most of my 20s. I because I was either so high or so drunk. I don't remember. And but what I can see now through that spiritual shift is that I always had it. I always had a God. I believe in God. Some people call it universe creator. I always had God looking out for me. There were choices I made that I should have not lived through. And I see how God pulled me through that so that I could share that, so that I could show that even through all of the choices we make in the moment, when our head is not clear, when we're not thinking straight, God, your creator, the universe, will take you through those moments and give you the opportunity to share those, to help others see that there is what's possible, what you can do with your life if you decide to make the change and be accepting. And that's the biggest thing, is accepting that. You know, about 3 years ago, I started like a personal development coaching program. And honestly, I went into this program more for the business side than the personal coaching, because I thought, I'm good. I feel like life is really good. And what I found out was life was not so good. You know, I really realized that I had not closed the door to the past or used the past to tell my story. You know, I was holding on to these things that were still hurting me. And that's where the shift really happened, as to, you know, gosh, you learn that once you release, you're open to receive, and then the goodness that can come from it, and the things you can manifest, and the things that are possible. And yeah, it's really, life is really amazing. And I think a lot of people miss that.
100%, because sometimes, and sometimes it could be a generational thing too. We push all those things down that have hurt us or injured us or wounded us, and we hold it in there. And recently, I've experienced, and many have experienced as well, and you could probably relate also, that there is strength through our vulnerability. So once we actually share our story, and you said it so perfectly, when you actually release it, then you can receive, then that is definitely where the shift happens. So talk us through how you're actually self-healing through your personal development.
Oh gosh. I did a lot of journaling. I A lot of forgiveness. And I really have to say that as a human being, I think forgiveness is one of the hardest things to be able to give freely because of the pain, because of the things that might have happened. However, if you're seeing the lesson rather than the pain, rather than the situation, but you're getting the lesson out of it, then it's a hair easier to do the forgiveness. But I write a lot, I journal a lot, I practice gratitude daily. I actually wrote a letter to my father and burned it, let everything out on the table and crumpled it up and put it in the fireplace and burned it. And honestly, I can say that the things that I've done, the processes that I've gone through of journaling, of forgiveness, just kind of talking through things I didn't really want to talk through, either out loud or on paper, have been healing in itself. I really thought I had healed through most of what I'd gone through, and I hadn't. And it's so crazy. I mean, I was 47 when I started that healing. It's crazy. And I mean, I know that it's just never too late. It's never too late. And all of your circumstances are temporary. All of the things that happen to us don't need to define us. Those are moments that we learn and grow from, and your mess becomes your message. Plain and simple.
I love that. Your mess becomes your message. I can feel the audience just listening to that and light bulbs going off everywhere. And I think too that when we go on this journey of self-development, we start off with kind of one or two questions, and we never stop learning and growing, but we add questions. So that could end up with 20, 30, 40 questions that we need to answer. So the deeper we dig, the more pain and lessons we need to learn, and everything is figure outable. Everything. And you're never too old to dream another dream. And I think I read it in a book somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where, and it said, don't die with the music still inside of you. And I think a lot of our Victim to Victory audience will really resonate with that as well, because Kerri, your message of you're never too old to be open to change and forgiveness and gratitude, and to actually be who you want to be at just a level of self-development that can get you there, is very, very powerful. So take us through, if you don't mind, where you are now in your self-development journey.
So I still do coaching. I still have coaching. It's business and it's mindset coaching. And I'm constantly working on mindset. I still have limiting beliefs every day. My biggest one is I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy, and I've felt so insignificant for so much of my life that I'm trying to get past that. So to dream bigger, part of my self-development is to write out my dreams in a bigger way. I have a vision board, but it's not specific enough. Now I have one, it's actually behind me on that shoulder. My health vision board is pretty specific, but interestingly enough, like my business and my life vision board is a little bit, it's really not narrowed down. There's a couple things that are narrowed down. So I'm challenged to dream bigger, to not let money or lack of money get in the way of pursuing dreams. That's part of my self-development. And the other part is affirmations, and knowing that, I am worthy, I deserve good things in life, I deserve abundance. And so I do a lot of affirmations and gratitude. I read, I do all kinds of things still. I mean, I'm doing daily personal development. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm not working on myself, because when you stop, the momentum stops. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the momentum to stop. Not at
Yeah.
all.
And we all have to practice self-development, because we've all got stories, we've all got trauma, we've all been a victim, we've all got money mindset issues, we've all got self-limiting beliefs, we've all got low confidence, and at some point in our life we've felt unworthy and unappreciated. And if we don't work on ourselves every single day, you stay in that fixed mindset. You're not in a growth mindset, and there is a huge difference. And when you actually start in self-development, like Kerri has said, then you can grow, you can heal, and you're always going to be a work in progress. So self-development never ever stops. And I completely understand about having the health vision board and the life goal vision board. They are hard to align. They are harder to align than what most people think they are, 100%.
Yeah.
But everyone says you just got to believe yourself and take action and go for it. And that sounds good. But if you've got those blocks and you're doing self-development to go over those blocks, that's the hardest point. That's the hardest point. And as soon as you feel uncomfortable, that's where the growth starts, doesn't it?
Yep. Yep.
So what is the biggest things that you are doing now in your life, in your business? I know we were speaking before the show and you're kind of in lockdown at the moment where you are. So how is that affecting everything, with everything that's going on in the world in 2020?
Well, yeah, we're on stay-at-home orders again. They let them loose for a little bit, and then they locked them down again. So one of the things that I really had on my vision board this year was to travel more. And honestly, I was supposed to go to Canada in May, and of course that got canceled. And so, like, what I'm doing now is I am really focusing on personal development, growing myself in a time that doesn't seem growable, and I feel like I truly believe this too, that great things come out of chaos. And our world is in such chaos, and especially the United States, and so I truly believe that something amazing is going to come out of all of this. And for me, I've just been working on staying consistent with my business practices, being intentional with my family, checking in on my friends, making sure that I'm serving others the way that I can serve them in this time. And really just growing myself in a time where people don't think that's possible. Like, how can anything, I hear this a lot, how is anything good going to come out of this? And honestly, I have a positive mindset, but I'm not naive. I'm not constantly fluffing around going, oh, life is great, because it's not. I have my roller coaster of emotions, but what I do know is that because of the distractions that have been stripped away, I am really able to focus on myself during this time and take control and some ownership on, if I get strong now and I can do those breakthroughs now, then as soon as things open up, I'm going to be unstoppable.
And you're unstoppable now. And I think, during this time of, and you said it so well again, Kerri, during this time of such chaos in the world and so much uncertainty, we create our own destinies. And I think there's two groups of people that are happening in 2020 that's really clear to me. There are those that are kind of sitting around going, oh, I'll just sit and see what happens. And the other group is, I'm just going to make things happen. There's two different groups. So out of chaos comes creativity, it comes resourcefulness, there comes hope, there comes pivoting, there becomes such a different shift. And I don't like the word new normal. I don't like that. But I think your words of advice about working on yourself now, so when the world opens up, whatever that will look like, whenever that will look like, then you're going to be unstoppable, because now is the time to work on your mindset, to be a better person, to be the change, to help others, to grow, and not stay stuck as a victim, but to continue that self-development that is going to actually be the change in the world. And we're very fortunate enough to have people like Kerri in the world that are unstoppable, that are doing personal development, that are empowering and supporting other people and inspiring and motivating themselves to actually help others. Now, Kerri is an entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur on fire, and she is very motivational with her team and her colleagues and her community, and she's all about culture and support and family, and she really supports and nourishes all of those friendships as well. So I urge you that if you are connecting with Kerri today, to reach out to her. We will be sharing her links, and connect with her, because she has got such greatness to offer and such real and rawness and authenticity to offer. And her journey is absolutely amazing. And Kerri, if you don't mind, can you share with us, with your family and your church and your community and your business, how do you manage when your days get tough? How do you manage when your days get tough?
Well, sometimes during this time especially, I have to make sure I have routine, and that I have to have, I make sure to start my day. I never start my day on my phone. So I always make sure I am not tuning into the outside world as I'm waking up. I make sure that I'm just getting acclimated to the day and taking in that quiet time, and I journal and I pray. And times have gotten tough, not more than they should have, but there's been a couple times where I've felt what I've seen people talk about, if that makes sense. I keep saying, I'm good, I don't feel like that. And then I got to that point. And what I have done for myself is actually, if I feel in that moment that it's too much, or today's just not the day that I can do that, then I actually give myself the option to rest. I give myself the option to do something that feeds my soul, and whether that's spending time with my family or reading or sleeping, whatever it is. I'm not going to say it's been depression, because I've been in depression before, and I haven't felt that through this entire pandemic, but I have felt the weight, and I think we all have. It hasn't been easy. And, but I just do the things that are really at the top of my priority list. And if I don't get everything done, it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I do the things, I commit to about 6 or 7 things daily that are important for my health, that are important for my mental health. that are important for my family, that are important for my business, and that are important for my friends and adding value to other people. So I just remind myself that God has put me here for a purpose. It's not to serve me. It's to serve him. But in order to serve God, I need to serve others. But in order to serve others, I have to take care of myself. And if I can't serve them with a full cup, then I need to take a break and step back. And I think people beat themselves up when they take a break. And a lot of people fear when they take time to themselves that they're going to lose that momentum, that, oh my God, I need to take I'll just say exercise. I need to take a day off from exercising. And then they're like, oh, well, since I took that day off, some people are like this. I guess I won't work out today. Like, it doesn't make sense. Give yourself, there's a bug. Give yourself the okay to say, for my mental health and my state of mind and my soul, it's okay to take a day off, because what that does is that refuels me. It gives me energy, and then I'll go right back at it tomorrow. But it also helps you not get burnout, and burnout's a real thing. And especially for people that work full time and are doing all of their side, I mean, it can be it's a real thing. And so you just have to know when to say no, and say, giving your best yes as well. Like, and in this time, it's so different, right? Because with what I do as a professional pianist, I lost all my work as of March. Like, I had all kinds of work lined up, and they were all canceled. And so in a normal or a regular time when I'm playing, I have the opportunity to say yes, or the opportunity to say no, using my best yes, and so it's just, again, a matter of not feeling guilty for taking care of yourself. I think so many of us are so afraid to do that.
And so many women and mothers feel guilty for self-love and self-care. And we have to put our own oxygen masks on first, or we can't actually look after everybody else. And those messages are really insightful for a lot of people, Kerri. And I know that a lot of people take a lot of tips that you've just shared openly there as well, in taking time for ourselves. And it's okay to take time for ourselves. It's completely okay to rest or sleep or pivot or go and do something different, and you can just get back at it more powerfully the next day, as long as you don't lose your vision. So a lot of people have picked up a lot of tips from that, Kerri. Your story is absolutely amazing and inspiring, and your practical everyday tips and your raw and realness is so inspiring and so motivating. And I would like, if you wouldn't mind, would you like to share a message with our audience today that will perhaps take them with them through the rest of 2020?
We are definitely in unique times, and this is truly your opportunity to be the change. This is your opportunity to grow into the person that you want to be. This is the opportunity to create a life that is different, regardless of the stipulations, regardless of lockdowns, regardless of any of that. You have everything inside of you to become the person that you want to be today, and to have that carry you through the next 5 months. 5 months. It's funny because the last so there was a meme about, we're coming into the last 6 months, and it was July, August, September, October, November, or whatever, and it spells Jason, and that's my husband's name. It was just kind of funny, but it had the picture of the guy from Halloween with the mask. So anyhow, yeah, this is your time to shine. through the coaching that I've been doing, I just keep hearing the same thing. You need to create this for yourself. You need to work on you. And this is the time to do it, especially if you're not working full time. I mean, this is your time. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Grow yourself. Don't be, like Tracy says, don't be a victim of your circumstances. Be a victor and come out fighting. Be a warrior. Show people, women, men, whoever's watching this, show everyone what is possible when they don't think it's possible. You need to be the model. You need to be the example. And that's really serve others, add value to others, help others, but don't let their situations and their circumstances ever become your problem. You need to focus on you and work on you so that you can just change the world beyond this, honestly.
You are absolutely amazing, Kerri. You've lived a lifetime before your 30s. What you have been through is a testimony to show hope that you can overcome obstacles, come out on the other side, still continue your self-development and go on to help others. We are all works in progress. And thank you very much today for being brave, stepping into the arena, sharing your story. You are so appreciated. And I'm so grateful to call you a friend. I've got goosebumps. Your story has just motivated and inspired me and reignited my flame again, Kerri. Thank you so much. You can find our podcast on YouTube and the Facebook group Victim to Victory podcast series. If you got value from today, please subscribe, like, and comment. And I would like to leave you with a message of step into your power and let your voice roar. Thank you very much, Kerri. You're very appreciated.
Thank you.